Let's draft some Modern Horizons 3. It's back, and we're preparing for the Arena Direct this weekend. And here we go. We got a little commander card action. Fabricate 1. Other non-token creatures you control have Fabricate 1. Choose one, populate, or proliferate. We have a Polluted Delta here in the pack. We have a little Glyph Elemental Lethal Throwdown. Pretty good. Didier's Nightblade. Twisted Riddle Keeper. I remember this card being immensely amazing. Like, really good if you could drop it for the emerge cost. Meddler, little Sage action, Wither and Bloom. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to take the Glyph Elemental to get things started. I think Lethal Throwdown, Nadir's Nightblade, and the Riddle Keeper pretty good. I just don't think trying to make that work is the right play. Take a little Glyph. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. We could take the Flare. We could also look at artifact. It becomes a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it has haste. That's kind of interesting. Curse Mirror. Triton Wavebreaker here. +1/+1 and Prowess. We do have a Wormcoil Larva, which I think is quite good. Sentry's pretty cool. We have the Familiar here. I gotta kind of refamiliarize myself with a lot of these cards. Do I want to take the Flare, or do I want to take the Wormcoil Larva? I kind of like the idea of Wormcoil Larva here, so let's take that. Ooh, now we have a Fell the Profane, Specimen, let's hook Insight, Drowner, Nesting Grounds action, Grave Dig. Pretty good. Some good stuff here. A little Fixer action. Whenever this creature enters, you get 3. Whenever you attack, may pay 2. Gains a lifelink. I'm just gonna take a Fell the Profane, right? No downside to this. Destroy a creature for 4 mana and a little bit of flip action. So yeah, I got to get back into Modern Horizons 3 here, but this is me just giving this a run. I'm going to do a draft or 2, and then we're going to queue up this weekend, try to win if we can, some play boosty boxes. Finifer Artifact, draw X cards, blah, blah, round down, deals damage, sacrifice artifacts at mana value to any target. This does have affinity. It is a 5/5. That's pretty big. I remember this card being so dumb. Like, seriously, so dumb. Ooh, little Modular 3 Arcbound Condor is kind of interesting. We could kind of go into the... You know what? Let's kind of go in. We got little Wormcoil Larva... We got a little artifact. We could do a little artifact thing here. I'm not really stuck in on white. We could go. Ooh, Obstinate Gargoyle. Dross Claw's pretty interesting. Primal Prayers. You get 2. It's kind of cool. We have Conjurer. Whenever another creature controls enter gain life, exile another target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield. Do we have anything insane that drops in? Oh, that could be really sick. Because this is... Oh, it's when it dies. I'm still going to try this, I think. Conjurer's kind of interesting. Might be bad. All right, Wood of the Reliquary here. That's cool. Return another target permanent you control and all orders you control attach it to their owner's hand. Activate only during your current turn. Okay, I kind of like the transmog. What is this? Consuming Corruption. Ooh, that's not bad. I'm going to take this, actually. Multicolored spells. There's plenty of those. We'll keep an eye out for the retrofitted. Seems like black is definitely open, and white seems to be looking pretty good. I don't know, and I don't honestly remember a ton of the synergies. I didn't do a ton of drafts for this format, actually. I did the pre-release. I think I did a few. Not as many as I probably should have. Insight, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards with flashback, not bad. We could grab the Shattered Landscape here. The Nightblade isn't something I'm super excited about. You know what I could take? I could take the Pinnacle Monk here, especially we have the Shattered Landscape. And I don't necessarily have to play it, but it's not bad. We have the Foreboding here. We have Deceptive. Interesting. Like, fixing for our colors would be good. I'm going to take an Insight, though. Inspired Inventor. 3 energy, put a 1/1 counter, and create a servo. This could be good to bounce back. To kind of be popping back and forth. So that's not bad. Take that. Again, the Pinnacle Monk. There is a couple of, like, red-black artifacts. So we could, again, play this. Wing It is +2/+2. Put a flying counter on it. That's interesting. And scry 1. Or do I want a Curse Mirror? This is until end of turn. I'll take the Curse Mirror, actually. What the heck, right? May not play that, but... When this creature enters the top 6, reveal an artifact or enchantment, put it in your hand, put the rest of the bottom of your library in random order. Didn't put a card in this way, put a 1/1 counter. That seems fine. It actually seems fine kind of for what we're trying to do. That is not the landscape we need. I'll just take the Thriving Skyclaw here. Ooh, perfect. There could not have been a more perfect card for us to get. Ooh, Philia! Exile 1 target permanent at the beginning. The next end step, return that card to the battlefield and enter under your control. For a 1/1 counter. Look at this. We got Dreamtide Whale. We've got Emerald Medallion. We have another Glyph Elemental. We have a Wither and Bloom, which would be really good. Another Gargoyle here. A little Dreadmobile. I'm going to take the Philia, though. I think that's pretty cool. Wither and Bloom would be really good. Little black-white beats. We need some interaction here, though. We do have the Corruption. We have the Fell. So none of those are bad. Kind of got a little artifact sub-theme going. So we're working on that. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see what we can slap together here. This is looking kind of interesting. Looking kind of interesting. Okay, so we have Reclamation here. Very last, cast from graveyard, choose 2 targets. Sure. Not a bad card. Apprentice, whenever another artifact, creature or artifact you chose put a graveyard for battle, each opponent loses life. That's very much a good consideration. Is it Apprentice or Wither and Bloom? We could also look at Shattered Landscape here if we want. Molten Gatekeeper. Kind of interesting as well. Amped Raptor. I think we take who? I don't know. I need the removal though, but Marionette Apprentice, I think, might just be the best. Gosh, it's close. It's close. Shadow Landscape. Reclamation's not horrible either. Disruptor Flute. Okay, alright. We got a Mindless Conscription here. Enters whenever you draw your 3rd card each turn, amass zombies 3. Not doing a ton of card draw here. We have the Mandibular Kite, which is basically a 1/1 flyer for 1. It does equip. Do have the auxiliary here, but I think we just snatch up a quick Wither and Bloom. What does the Pyro Surfer do? It's Battle Cry. Kind of interesting. But we're taking Wither and Bloom. Seems really good. Ooh. Okay. 2/1/1 counters, lifelink, and 1/1 counters. Okay, so this is the other thing. Cranial Ram is what we need to keep an eye out for if we want to splash into that color. I think the Knot Master here is just a little too good for us, but this Cranial Ram could be insane. So we'll keep an eye out for maybe that. We could also look at maybe running a Stump Stomp too. It's not horrible. Again, if we splash into red, I don't hate that necessarily. We got another Wither and Bloom here, but let's take a look. Copy double Waterlogged Teachings. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Jolted Awake. When target artifact or creature card in your graveyard, you get 2 energy, then pay equal to that card's mana value. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Pretty interesting. We're just going to take the Wither and Bloom, though. Just too good. A Polluted D. Polluted D. Vexing Bauble. Revitalizing Repass is kind of interesting. Ooh. We could also run the Nyxborn Unicorn. Stowing these is not bad. Or do I just want a Sentry? I'll take a Sentry, actually. Whenever one or more counters are put on this creature, you may draw 2 cards. If you do, you lose 2 life. Gargantuan's kind of just a big top end. Oh, Junk Diver. Not bad. Actually, that could work out pretty good for us. Wing It is also kind of interesting. We'll take the Junk Diver, though. We were definitely kind of doing the artifact thing, so. Death Touch, 1/3, lose 2, gain 2. I don't know, that's kind of interesting. I don't know if we'll play that, though. We have another Gargoyle. I'm just going to absolutely take. Okay, blue, black, red. Shatter Landscape, yes, please. Do I want this? When, as this artifact owner chooses a card name, spells chosen name cost 3 more to cast, activate of lesser mana. I don't know that I care too much about that. I'll take the Kite. There's a Cranial Ram. Wow. Perfect. Perfect. Activate only if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Sure. Sure. Okay. We need removal. Void. Trample. At the beginning of combat in your turn, target creature goes against haste and gets where X is the number of Eldrazi you control. Flare of Duplication. Interesting. Trawler. Gargantuan, Kami, Null Elemental Blast. I could look for and see if we can get a few sources. This is pretty good. Pretty good creature. Don't think we're going to splash that hard for that. We could look at the Trawler. It's not horrible. I'm just going to take the linebacker, though. I think that's okay. That pack wasn't great for us. I mean, Warren Soul Trader. Victimize. Or do we need to breathe your last breath? I like the breathe your last breath here. I think Victimize is pretty interesting. But I just think we want to do that. We do need to look for some more ways to get the mana we need. How am I looking on removal here? 8 non-creatures. I have Consuming, Double Wither and Bloom, and Breathe Your Last, and a Fell. I'm going to take another Breathe Your Last. Transmogrant is really good. This is kind of an interesting pseudo removal slash keep my thing alive. Wheel of Potential. Dreadmobile. I think, do we just grab... Ooh. I think maybe we take a Fanged Flames here. But how good is another Cranial Ram in our deck? I'm going to take the Fanged Flames. But I think Cranial Ram is looking pretty interesting also. And Philia being able to bounce some of these living weapons isn't horrible, especially if the creature has died. Because this is one other target non-land permanent. Yeah. Okay. You can have the Zealot. You have another Fanged Flames. Slith. That's not bad. I'm gonna take the Slith, I guess. I don't know about that. Let's see. What do I like here? Infernal Captor's kind of interesting. I'm going to take the Trawler, though. Not necessarily something we need to play. When this chant enters, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with Flying Morbid. Your end step, if a creature died this turn, populate. It's pretty interesting. I'm going to just take another Gargoyle here, though. What is this? Return target artifact or creature card from a graveyard to your hand. Does damage equal to that card's mana value to a target creature or planeswalker. I like that a lot. I like this a lot. We could also look at taking Seething Landscape. Do I just grab a Null Elemental Blast here? Sure. Probably not playing this. You just have so many gargoyles. There's a Transmogrant. I think we have to take this. I don't know. Looking okay. Probably can't play the... There's my Cranial Ram. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ooh, and the Zealot made it around too. That doesn't seem horrible. It's not the worst card ever. Okay. It feels like we've got a bit of a lane. Feels like we can do some things. Feels like we can do some things. Yeah, let me take a look here. We'll get some things squared up and get organized a bit. And we'll be back with where we're going to land. Okay, I think this is where we're going to land. It feels pretty decent. We didn't quite get the colorless mana production that we needed to end up running that Eldrazi, which I kind of figured was going to be part of where we're at. So we have a very low splash here. Of red, essentially for the 2 Cranial Rams, which I think are going to be absolutely awesome in the deck, plus the Pyretic Rebirth, which helps us do a little bit of recursion, as well as also can shoot something for us and act as a removal spell. So 6 on-face removal spells. We do have the Arcbound Condor, which can also help us to kind of get rid of some things if we need to, based on the amount of artifacts we have dropping in, so not too terrible. And I think we'll be able to hopefully get some value off of that. Our main game plan is Cranial Ram in the air for the finish. We have 10 artifacts. We have quite a few flyers here, so the Kite is going to be able to do that. We got some good synergies with some things that we can block and or sacrifice with the Insight. All 3 of the Gargoyles, the Transmogrant as well, so we can really help to work that. We can get some triggers off of a few things like Marionette Apprentice with our Gargoyles will also help to ping for some damage. We got a little bit of benefit that we can see from Philia to bounce, so like Inventor's going to be okay, and a handful others like I said, being able to even bounce some of these equipments once we've lost potentially the creature, to be able to then regenerate that Phyrexian Germ isn't terrible. So we can look at doing a few of those fun things. So it's looking pretty cool. We got some interesting lines here. I don't know how it ended up doing, but good creature curve, good removal suite. I think our mana is going to do just fine. We're going to run 16 with the Fell the Profane, so that seems fine as well. Pretty low curve here. I know we're showing 14 creatures, but really the Kite and the 2 Rams actually bumps that up to 17, so we're sitting pretty good from that perspective. I guess with that being said, I could look at maybe dropping one more creature and maybe bringing in... The one thing that I did consider was dropping one more creature and either bringing in Consuming Corruption or bring in this Fanged Flame. So we'll test that out around and see. I guess we could also consider playing the old Pinnacle Monk here, but for 5 with Prowess, I mean, being able to return one of our removal spells would be pretty good. This coming in tapped isn't horrible, but I'm going to keep it pretty clean here, I think. Like I said, Fanged Flames is the only one I'm kind of considering. I'm kind of considering maybe as being a good option to drop in here. Like I said, I could look at maybe one other creature. We could lose like one Gargoyle and bring this in, but I think our suite of removal should be okay. So let's give it a go and see how we do. I'm not mad about this. You can find a red source. We'll be off to the races here a little bit. We got Wormcoil Larva, which is just a fantastic creature and a great reanimation target too. So Transmogrant, we can get Gargoyle up and running here pretty quick. We can find a red source on 2 for go like Transmogrant into Cranial Ram into Gargoyle. That'd be pretty sick, but I think we'll keep and rock and roll with this. Turn 1 Transmogrant seems pretty good. Okay. Well, we found a turn 2 play. I'm going to make the servo because we want more and more artifacts. I can't say highly enough how just Collect Evidence 6. Pretty good. You can leave that up as a blocker. Sure. Man, if we can make... Oh! We just need the red. Just need the red. We'd be in such good shape if we had it. It's kind of an interesting one. Really good low-cost removal. Like, there's a reality. This is up and play those cards this turn, be in the next end step. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, Gargoyle, sure. Alright, I think we just Sentry. 3 Menacer is pretty good. I have to, unfortunately, get rid of the old Swamp. Going to attack. I will be curious to see how much energy creation they can make. Being able to blink the Sentry also, I guess, is pretty good. Okay. I'm going to be able to keep Static Prison up and rocking for a while here. Very good removal spell. Wish we would have seen those. I don't think we saw any of those during the course of the game. I think that's a good line, and I am going to attack. Filtering through. How much do they have in here? I think it makes sense just to put the damage there. And then we still get a 3/3, which isn't bad. And we ping. We'll have the larva up. Not bad. Good rush. Gosh, I just need a red. Oh, I just need a red. I'm gonna keep it locked down, which makes sense. Glyph Elemental with the gargoyles is pretty good too. Done a good job of kind of filtering through a few cards. 2 additional lands. That's pretty good. I'm gonna need... We have a lot of removal, so let's hopefully find some of that here soon. Okay. Boltstorm Angel is a little bit of a problem for me. Its ability is 2, though, and they're going to have to keep playing the Static Prison. Hopefully they only get 1 trigger, but they've done a nice job of energy creation. They got a little cool little energy deck. Oh, now they can proliferate. It says whenever a non-token creature you control enters proliferate. That's pretty good. And now they can keep the energy rolling a little bit. Sure. Alright, removal spell / red source. Gosh, I wish I could play both of these. Too much mana. Oh, actually, though, that would end up killing the Phoenix. That's not horrible. Now I can pretty easily attack. Yeah. Potentially gain some life back. If they make that block, sure. Got a 3/3 to block the Arcbound, but they can't do that now because then 2 artifacts come in and I killed the Phoenix. And I kept the Servo back and the Glyph Elemental back just because I don't want bad trades. So they're gonna do this. Pretty interesting. In the life. Yep. There we go. Boom. The funny part is, can they do this at... So they can't do it at hasty speed. I certainly could potentially take some big damage here, but I do have the Arcbound Condor as a blocker. Keeping that locked down makes sense. Oh, that's cool. Really good on my opponent here to make a cool energy deck. You definitely have to find the ways to get the payoffs, though. Seems a little bit of a bold attack. Five mana open. Let's start with this, because I can kill the Eldrazi spawn token. I mean, this is pretty good attack. Tentatively gonna bring us just some life back, sure. Pops him another life. Him down to 8. I mean, there's just no reason I don't play this right here. So they can give this Vigilance and Lifelink. Sure. Which would be pretty good. Sure. Yeah. I'm not taking 6 damage. Oh, that equipped for too much. Yeah, just gonna go with these. Say if they end up blocking the Condor, let the damage go through. I modular up the Gargoyle. Just the life. I'll put modular tokens here. Then I kill this. Got it done, baby. Got it done. Finally found some removal. Finally found some removal. Ooh, all 3 and a cranial ram. Let's go. Oh, this could be fun. And we got the Ondu Knot Master too. And the Gargoyle. Have ourselves a time here. Oh, I think I just keep up the removal. Oh, they paid the 3 life. Interesting. Just gonna kill this. Sure. The thought plan here is get the Gargoyle down, play another swamp, and then I can ram and not master. Yep. They have their own cranial ram. Sure. I'll see your cranial ram and raise you a cranial ram. And then the cool part about this is now my germ is available. Sure. Good play. Good value play by my opponent. Yeah. Do I take the 4? I think I do just take the 4. I can adapt this for 4. Then we'll just hold our blocks, because now the Knot Master can get bigger. Phyrexian Tower. Wow. Nice. Sure. Yep, sure. Obviously heavily incentivized now to block the ram, but not master being able to get bigger here is certainly nice. This says sacrifice another artifact or creature, put a 1/1 counter. Can they adapt this? No. Good with this. Yeah, it's just huge now. Okay. Play a land. So I can't attack with the Baloth. What's my best play here? I have 2, 4, I have 6. I could put another 1/1 counter here. I can play the Marionette, and I can equip the Cranial Ram. Make a servo. Be +3 though. So I think just best off making this bigger and making this bigger and attacking here. Got the Gargoyle to block. I've got the Junk Diver basically to block again. Just gain 10 life. So can only block creatures with flying. You can certainly potentially try to deal me a lot of damage. I just block with this. Yep. It gets bigger, you get pinged. That can come back. I mean, you can insight. I mean, I'm just going to gain 11 life. I mean, they can block and then... So actually, no. I'm not going to gain 11 life because they can Eviscerator's Insight their Molten Gatekeeper. Oh, interesting. Huh. I would have Eviscerated Insight the Molten Gatekeeper. But that's just me. And I have a Gargoyle that I can get back. Sure. And I'm going to make a 1/1 servo. Ooh, this is interesting. So they can keep making the Dreadmobile bigger. And they have a pretty consistent sack outlet here. But I'm going to try to press the resources a bit. I have to keep attacking with this. Right. You can just, like, constant loop here. Yep. That's fine. But what I do here is gargoyle and then ram this. It is a 6/3, so it is big enough to block this down. Still have a 9/9. Then it can return. It's modified. So he'll get bigger. Apprentice will ping for a damage if they take the attack. It's in a bit of an awkward spot. Furnace Hellkite. Sure. Say 5/5 flyer. Yeah, I mean, I make this block pretty much all day. That dies. Everything here gets bigger, better, badder. You get pinged. This persists. Which means that you now are going to have to block with the Furnace Hellkite. Still be big enough. Sure. And you can block, sack both. Is another creature going? Sure. Sure. This Knot Master has been absolutely awesome. A second cranial ram is really gross. Could I have won that last turn? Probably. Can't attack. Oh wow. They're gonna grab my Knot Master. What a draw. What a draw. And then they can sack it. That's so gross. Oh, that's so gross. With the Dreadmobile. That's actually sickening. Oh, that's so sickening. What a draw, honestly. I mean, I can't even be mad about that, right? That's so dumb. What a draw. They drew the Imsker Iron Eater to then draw into Infernal Captor to be able to exploit it. So gross. They have another one. That is wild. Well, that's what I get for not fully attacking all the way this last turn and forcing some of it. I mean, they can sacrifice like all of the things. I don't know why. I mean, that seems like an interesting play. It has Menace. Can I put 7 damage on it? I can. And is that better? No, I want the Roscoe Knight still up. I guess I do that. What a turn of events this game has been. I guess truly my best option is this. Equip both of these, right? That way they're big enough for the Dreadmobile. Not going to attack because of the Death Touch token. Sure. I mean, I have to do this. And of course it has Menace. Gosh, what a... Oh, what a game. The funny part is I can end up killing the Etch Slith. Good game. That rip of that into that to then take my huge guy is just so gross. Oh, that's horrible. And genuinely, I think again I could have won on the turn previous to that. If I just attack with everything, I think with the Marionette artifact kills, and they had to block the flyer. I think we would have just closed the game right there. I should have did the fast math to see because we put him down to 1. Okay, we got Kite on 1. Philia. Inventor. Actually, Philia into Inventor is pretty cool. That feels like it's got some fun things to do. Here. A living weapon, 1/1 flyer. Okay. It says flash, right? Yep. Ooh, so here's what's interesting. Oh, this is kind of cool, actually. Now it's going to come back. The germ is a 1/1. This comes back, makes a living weapon. That gets bigger. And I got a blocker. That's so sick. That was cool. That was cool, my friends. And I can do this again. I can do this with the Inspired Inventor. Put the 1/1 counter on the kite, and then pop the kite. No. No. It's still 3/3 though, so I guess that's fine. Still hilarious. Sure. I mean, absolutely zero reason I don't kill this thing. You got a pump spell? Is there a 1 mana? What 1 mana pump spells are there? Revitalizing Repast. Okay, sure. Sure. I mean, at this point, we just play this. I attack with everything. Oh, Philia. We had the plays. Utter insignificance. You make me so sad. We had the plays. This deck has turned out to be pretty fun. I don't know how many more games we'll play because that last one was very, very long, but this deck ended up turning out to be really, really fun. I enjoyed this a lot. Permanent card. What are they taking? Void Crag. Okay. So I think, oh, let's just attack with Philia here. They're hurting for land drops, so I think Wormcoil Larva probably ends up being the next best play after this. This is modified, so not Master's gonna get bigger. Which is what I want. And I'm just gonna play an impactful big spell here. I like the old larva. Like, they pretty much have to play the Void Crag here. Yeah. And then I have 4, 5, 6 mana. Five flyer in the air. I could eviscerate or insight my germ token right now, but I think I'll wait. I think we'll wait. Gaining the 5 life. Got our larva up. At the end of the turn, I will do that. So we kind of sacrifice the point of damage, but this puts a lethal attacker in the air. Now they have 5 mana, 6 mana available. Certainly to do something. I'll do this instead. I gotta get rid of it anyways. Alright, perfect. Well, I don't want my guys to die. And I think I just Wither and Bloom. Do I do the germ token here? I think I do. So that makes it so then I can move it. There's no reason not to bring the team here. I mean, it keeps them a blocker. They kind of have to do this. I do have 30 life, and I am about to drop a second Cranial Ram. Sure. That seems like it'll be pretty good, my friends. Pretty good. Okay, much smoother than the last go, and we got up to 38 life. I almost had commander life totals. Okay, let's see here. Ophelia, Gargoyle, Sentry, Junk Diver. It seems fine. Not as great of synergy as the last hand we had, but hopefully we can find one good synergy piece with Ophelia. Can still flash Ophelia in here. Marionette Apprentice. Made it a 2-3. Let's flash the doggo in. Ooh, I don't mind this play here. It's not Master can now actually just make Ophelia bigger. Sure. punch for 4. Not hitting the land drop there is a little unfortunate. Might put me behind. Oh, that's even extra horrible. Oh, it's so bad. If we had this, we could kill that. Had a double black. I drew 2. Did I have this in my opener? I think I drew 2 of my biggest spells. It's really unfortunate. It does persist, which isn't horrible. I could then just block with this, because then Junk Diver now has a target. It's not like horrible. God, this is so bad. Man, I'm playing 17 lands, and I had 3 in the opener. And they have like 9 lands. It's crazy. Oh, man. I'm not winning this game. Says... Well, they can't kick this at all, which is really funny. They can't even play any of their stuff, which is also kind of funny. Get this back to my hand, which is the horrendous. Dude. Good game. Yeah, I mean, I just blocked the most damage here. It's horrible. I mean, you know, like, what can you do here? I guess I could have eviscerated her insight, the gargoyle. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede. GG's. That was not great. 3 lands. Not gonna do it. 3 lands in the opener, too. That's the crazy part. Well, I guess we might end up finishing this. It wasn't intended to do that, but we end up dropping this game, then see where we end up. That wasn't a great showing for the deck. I'm gonna keep. I am gonna keep. Although, this hand isn't particularly good either. Maybe I should have kept this. This is probably my downfall here. Because I don't have anything to Junk Diver back. A red source here would be beautiful. Gonna be lucky with that. I am gonna get the double black. So I will be able to Junk Diver here. Junk Diver into Sentry isn't horrible. Ooh, I could Glyph Elemental, then play my land. That actually doesn't seem too bad. a 3/3. Obviously, bestowing that is really good, but I think that's maybe just a little bit of better value there. Oh, sure. Take 2 damage. Not going to walk into kind of combat trick. My Glyph Elemental can get bigger. Oh, no, I want this. Sure. What I'm trying to set up here is a Junk Diver to get Cranial Ram back and Sentry being bigger. And Glyph Elemental is going to end up potentially being a 6/6 here. So I'm going to go and find this. I think I just kill this thing. And attack. Two, 4, 5. Can't get the Cranial Ram back if I do that. I think I go the land. Sure, draw and discard likely, yep. Still getting in for some damage. A 6/6 up. The thought here is if I... What does this do? Sure. I think I just force this. Huh. I don't even care about getting Cranial Ram back at this point. I have all the removal in the world. That's just going to keep getting bigger. They have to block this. And so now I just play the Condor. And now if they bring in anything with low values, I'm going to be able to get the value off the Marionette Apprentice by making the Servo. Well, that's about the worst card I could see there. Something with 4 toughness. Sure. I was gonna be able to... Okay, so it ended up working out that I was gonna be able to kill that 2-1 with my play. Obviously being able to do that, I would have needed, interestingly, would have needed another Black Source. Obviously, this didn't come in. When did they get that into the graveyard? Oh, they must have discarded it early. That's pretty sick to be able to do the Victimize. They had a cool deck. Glyph Elemental into land, into Seething was pretty sick. And then Sentry there having the Menace was pretty nice. Okay, so at the end, I'm going to wrap it up here. I don't know where the deck will finish. but it got 3 wins. So at least we're going to go even. Hopefully we can try to spike this 4th win here. It's pretty cool. We've had some good synergies. Got a little land screwed in the one game. The other game, again, if I would have just did the combat math, we probably could have won on that turn. But that was a pretty sick sequence of events, and then they just took absolute advantage of the thing. I have a lot more respect for being able to exploit and steal creatures because there's some pretty good ones in this format. So other than that, played fine. It did exactly what we wanted to do. We were able to get a little bit of the Philia shenanigans going. We certainly had plenty of artifacts. The obstinate gargoyles are pretty decent, right? We have a few ways to get them modified by equipping them or putting counters on them. So I think they get much better in that circumstance. With that being said, just the ability for them to block and recur, especially with Marionette Apprentice, and get some of that cycling back is pretty nice. So pretty cool little deck I think we put together here to take advantage of some of the synergies we got. Now I certainly should be taking, and I think we saw at one point, another Glyph Elemental. This card is absolutely fantastic, especially if you're trying to do any kind of thing with modification, and that ends up being pretty good. But I liked it. I've liked it so far. I don't feel like it's hit on like every cylinder. That last game was probably the best to showcase what it truly could do, at least in some aspects of it. And our suite of removal, when we find it, is pretty good. So hopefully you enjoy. Thanks for checking this one out. Some grindy games, some fun ones, and a good sneak peek for what we'll be jumping into this weekend, trying to win. I believe, I head home here, I believe they are Japanese play booster boxes, which is pretty interesting. I almost just want to try to win one of these just to have a Japanese play booster box. But we'll be cracking into this here very, very shortly. So consider sticking around. We'd appreciate your support. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. We're on the road to our first big channel milestone of 1,000 subs. We do a whole bunch of pack openings, so it'd be cool to get this and then crack it at some point as well. If you enjoy those, we do those every Wednesday. We have playlists for both our MTG arena content as well as all of our pack openings. We've done a whole ton of sets. Got lots more coming up here very soon. Avatar on its way as well, so we'll be jumping into all of those. And got a little bit of Commander stuff going on. We've done some one-box challenges with a little bit of opening and making some Commander decks and a handful of other things. So cruise the channel a little bit, watch a few other videos that help us out as well. We'll finish here. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next one. Peace.